Hi everyone, so here's the Filter Queen. It's model 112B. I have a guide somewhere that shows what year approximately this was. I don't actually recall. There was a date code on here somewhere. It's 002853. That's the serial number. I don't actually know off the top of my head. It says 7.6 amps, 8.6 amps with power nozzle. That's actually quite low. I have a brand new exhaust filter for it. Depending on where you look, the Filter Queen calls it the scent cap or exhaust filter because it captures carbon, but you're also supposed to, you can spray this with one of their Filter Queen sprays and have it smell like eucalyptus or some other thing. This whole unit's been completely torn down, every single thing scrubbed clean. It has a new muffler batting, has a new pre-motor filter, has new cones. Both cones were brand new. I had a little bit of dirt in here. What I want to do is kind of like a sample vacuuming throughout my home. So I just cleaned this out and I just vacuumed the cone. It's fine, there's no breaks or anything in it. It wasn't that dirty anyways. And of course we have the Pure cone, which has the carbon layer to absorb odors. So we line that back on there. 1 tab, 2 tab, 3 tab. Gotta always make sure you have 3 tabs out. Lock and load. Lock and load. It's got power. It's funny, Filter Queen always used to claim for me that the greatest thing about these vacuums was when you turn them on, the torque twists and turns the whole machine. And that's really true for any vacuum cleaner out there because of the motor in there. And I can actually run a proof thing for that if I can find the rest of my stand. Interesting. Here we go. Bear with me. Let me see what I can do here. Put that there, and this will work. Woohoo. Okay. So, technically, if I hold this up in the air and push the button, it's the inertia. When you turn it on, it basically twists it. See, when a vacuum's on the floor, you don't have that ability to really see that. It moves just a little bit. Once it's settled on the floor, you don't see it. But of course, Filter Queen demonstrated up on the table to people, so do that. However, we have here a river wind tunnel. See? Alright, so there's your suction body for you. So, old brush roll. Excellent shape bristles. I put all the parts in the bag, but basically it's a felt pad, and I'll just take it out. What happens here is this. You've got 2 of these guides, the one broke, right? And go in here. Please don't break doing this. There we go. One goes on that slot. One goes over here. You got these metal washers. And yeah, it spins right now. Right? But stand it on end and it really doesn't spin. So the new brush roll that I decided to get, see, and even right now, just that really doesn't turn much at all. The new replacement that I got, there's nothing wrong with that brush roll. The bristles are in fine shape, and how this works too, there's a groove in the end cap. This side is solid. So when it's a brand new brush roll, you have this sticking up towards the base plate. When it wears, you have this part up towards the base plate, and it basically sinks it, pushes it out a little bit more. The CWP works the same way. The nice thing about the CWP, the old brush roll was completely all bristle here. And you have the rug guard plate. So the CWP actually has cutouts between the bristles to fit around the guard, so you're not grinding away your bristles and slowing it down. It's also a ball bearing agitator, so when you stand this up on its end, it's just going to spin and spin and spin. So they're out just enough. I can feel them. I don't have a credit card right now in my wallet. Well, I could, but basically that's the way you test a brush roll on the machines. You run a credit card on it. But anywho, I'm going on a tangent. Oh, another thing, another tweak I did. These have a really crazy height adjuster. So of course right now we're on low, okay? Go up to setting 2, it raises it up a little bit more. Go up to setting 3, and you see the handle wants to tilt back? My hand fits under there right now. Setting 4, and my hand goes under much more, okay? It's quite a big jump. This thing was made for like shag. And before my tweak, even setting 2 was quite a ways up there. So what I did, the height adjuster is just this silly little knob, and as you turn the adjuster, it moves depending on the height of the knob at that position, it raises the wheel bar out. So I shimmed it. I just basically took a knife and I just sort of trimmed it down on all the sides so it would get a little bit closer on all the sides. 3 and 4, as you can sort of still way up there, but 1 gets nice and lower, 2 gets a little bit lower, so it's not as ridiculous and obscene for today's carpets in the world. So that's another little thing I did. There is a reset. So now we're going to set this back down to, now we're on 1. And let me bag this up because I don't want to lose the parts again. Two washers, 2 ends, and that can stay on the brush roll. Right. Keep it just in case. So, bear with me. And yes, I did just vacuum the other day. The place isn't bad, but I did a good bit of cooking, and there's onion peel that got like on the kitchen floor, tracked in the hall, all over here, leaves. So I was just going to clean it all up again. So what we'll do, low speed. High speed. So one thing interesting, I think it's the airflow issue. When you have your hand right over it, the suction feels pretty good. When you're out here, you don't feel too much. Likewise, Hoover. You can actually hear the difference. suction, there's a lot more grab. There's a lot more grab around it. Just my observance. Also, what I noticed, we'll do the filter clean one first. Okay. So filter clean on here. It just goes in. Oh, this thing likes to turn. So if it's not turned completely right and you push this button, the wand doesn't necessarily come out. Kind of silly. Maybe they meant that as a regular lock, but it's hard enough to push this button to get it to push in the pin anyways. Because you push this in, it pushes in the spring, which releases the lock. But if you turn this, it kind of screws up too. It looks big, but it feels small. The other one comes out further. It is pretty nice. I mean, the filter clean does leave nice grooming marks when it grooms right, when the brush roll is good, which is one thing this brush roll definitely has an improvement on. Now, likewise, you saw how easy that just sort of moved across the carpet. So this doesn't lock. And the reason I've been showing you with this Hoover tonight is because the Hoover actually fits onto it. It just doesn't lock. Whereas I can't fit a Eureka on there, I can't fit a Kenmore in there or anything else. The Hoover's the closest one because the Eurekas go inside the wand, the Panasonics go inside the wand, the Kenmores go inside the wand. You know, the Kenmore's Eureka's, the hose is the male end. Whereas on Hoovers and filter cleans, the hose is the female end. So that does go on there, it just doesn't lock. So it's been cool to experiment with this machine. Plus the other thing is too, this is like $300 and that was $2,400. Hoover, it almost feels like position 2 does it better. Whereas with the filter clean, it has to be on low. seriously, the Hoover canister feels more powerful, and it's supposed to be that the filter queen expensive thing was really powerful. Because I don't know if I still have it set up or not. I don't, but I can. I can take this one. Oh, I can even. No, I can't do that one. It has to be this one. Give me. Ah! We can do this. I was going to use the wind tunnel head, but we can do this. Maybe not. Maybe that wand is taller. Over wand. Over power head. Get in your hole. Go home. Yes. Be tight, but doesn't work. This is a central vacuum Hoover wind tunnel canister because the rewire. Either that or somebody switched the wire, either way, but so it's amazing how much that just like zips along the carpet, whereas I can't promise because I haven't used it like this in the window, but I'm not even going to lock it because I didn't lock the other one. I'm not even going to lock it. Seriously, that's not as easy to push. It's still easy to push because I'm no wimp and it's just a vacuum, but even still, there's not as much resistance. Alright, I'm going to cut the video here. I think we've had enough fun. I've taken up enough of your time. I'm going to go through, clean the whole place, and I'm going to take a look at the bin. It's going to find dirt. It's going to. It's been, I vacuumed on Saturday or Sunday. Been home a good bit of time. There's going to be dirt. I have no idea how much. So, it'll be interesting. Anywho. Stay tuned.